Hannibal crossed the Alps threatening Rome's existence, yet the true battleground was the treasury. How did the Republic finance a war that nearly bankrupted it? We investigate the money behind the shields.
Fielding over 20 legions demanded astronomical sums for pay and supplies. The state treasury, the aeriarium, drained rapidly. Traditional revenue streams dried up as Hannibal ravaged the Italian countryside, destroying the tax base.
Rome relied on the tributum, a wealth tax, effectively serving as a forced loan. Citizens paid based on census ratings, expecting repayment upon victory. Patriotism was monetized to keep the legions fed.
By 215 BC, the tax burden doubled. This infographic illustrates the tributum duplex, showing the curve of financial burden skyrocketing for landowners who had to fund soldiers' pay to spite their burning fields.
To stretch bullion, Rome debased its currency. The bronze as was reduced in weight and the silver denarius was introduced. This monetary manipulation allowed the state to mint more coins from limited metal.
The Oppian Law of 215 BC wasn't just moral, it was economic. It restricted women to half an ounce of gold, the intent, forcing private hoards into circulation to fund the desperate war effort.
Fascinated by historical economics? Hit that subscribe button to uncover more ancient secrets. Ring the bell to ensure you never miss our deep dives into the money behind the myths.
In 215 BC, the treasury hit empty. The state turned to publicani, private contractors. They supplied armies in Spain on credit, demanding state insurance against shipwrecks, a deal that birthed the first insurance fraud.
Foreign aid proved vital. Hiero II of Syracuse sent wheat, barley, and a golden statue of victory. The Senate accepted the statue not for art, but to liquidate it immediately for war funds. By 210 BC, with the treasury destitute again, the Senate acted. Livy reports senators voluntarily donated their gold and silver to the public melting pot, shaming the reluctant plebeians into following their lead.
Visualizing the influx, this chart displays the sudden spike in liquidity. Thousands of pounds of elite jewelry and plate melted down, allowing the consuls to recruit rowers without imposing another crushing tax.
Desperation in 209 BC forced the opening of the Aeriarium Sanctius. Funded by a 5% tax on manumitted slaves, this sacred reserve was legally bound for extreme disaster. Hannibal's presence unlocked the vault. Records confirm the withdrawal of 4,000 pounds of gold. This bar graph represents that gold's conversion into millions of sesterces, a critical injection that barely kept the war machine running for another year.
Not all complied. In 209 BC, 12 Lycian colonies refused to supply men or money. This revolt signaled a near collapse of the alliance, threatening to starve Rome of the resources needed to survive.
Conversely, 18 colonies remained loyal. Their contributions of grain and manpower were the lifeline. This map highlights the economic fracture, distinguishing the exhausted defectors from the stalwart allies sustaining the Republic.
Victory required settling debts. In 204 BC, Rome began repaying the tributum. With cash scarce, the state often granted public land instead, fundamentally altering property distribution and setting the stage for future agrarian crises. Did Rome's economic survival strategy surprise you? Click like if you learned something new. Comment below, would you donate your savings to save your country? We want to hear your take. Rome defeated Hannibal not just with legions, but with loans, debasement, and sacrifice. The Republic outspent its enemy, proving that in total war, the ledger is as lethal as the sword.